If I was a fly on the wall, not that there would be a wall left, and I was looking at America or the UK after it had been struck by these nuclear bombs, by thousands of, Russian or North Korean nuclear weapons. What would I see? What would the visuals be in those minutes after the strike?
I describe the first bomb in the scenario that strikes the Pentagon. It's a 1 megaton thermonuclear bomb in painstaking, horrific detail, all sourced from Defense Department documents, defense scientists who have worked for decades to describe precisely what happens to things and to humans. And it's horrifying. But on top of the initial flash of thermonuclear light, which is 180 million degrees, which catches everything on fire in a 9-mile diameter radius, on top of the bulldozing effect of the wind and all the buildings coming down and more fires, igniting more fires, on top of the radiation poisoning people to death in minutes and hours and days and weeks, if they happen to have survived. On top of all of that, each one of these fires creates a mega fire.
What the fuck?
The United States military to
fuck
go
this
after
bitch, man. Man, come on, man.
Fires creates a mega fire that is 100 or more square miles. And so essentially, in essence, what do you see? Well, in the scenario at minute 72, 1,000 Russian nuclear weapons land on the United States. And so it just becomes a conflagration of fire. It's just fire, fires burning, fires, 100, 200 square mile fires burning. And then we move into nuclear winter. And that's sort of the denouement of the book, where I tell you about nuclear winter from the point of view of one of the original scientists who wrote that original nuclear winter paper with Carl Sagan back in 1983. And his name is Professor Brian Toon. And he spent the decades since working with the state-of-the-art climate modeling systems that can now precisely tell us what nuclear winter will look like.
Because I've always thought, nuclear war wouldn't be that bad. If, Russia launched 1,000 of their nuclear bombs at the United States and I was here in New York where I am now, I would die instantly, so I wouldn't really know it happened. Is that true?
I think you would want to die instantly. I mean, there's a quote from Nikita Khrushchev, the former premier of the Soviet Union, and he said, after nuclear war, the survivors would envy the dead. Because there is, right? There is this sense of, if you survived, there is no more law and order. There is no more rule of law. There is no government. Craig Fugate made that very clear. The bunkers that the people in the military command and control centers would be in, let's say the secret bunkers, not the ones that are targets that Russia's going to take out, that I write about in the book, but the smaller ones, those are going to only function for as long as there's gasoline to run the diesel generators. And then those people are going to have to come out. And who's left? It's man returning to the most primal, most violent state as people fight over the tiny resources that remain. And by the way, they're all malnourished, everybody's sick, and most people have lost everything and everyone they know. How's that going to feel?
It's going to feel, as you describe here on page 277, there are 1,000 flashes of light superheating the air in each ground zero to 180 million degrees Fahrenheit, 1,000 fireballs, each more than a mile in diameter, 1,000 steeply fronted blast waves, 1,000 walls of compressed air, 1,000 American cities and towns where all engineered structures in 5, 6, or 7 miles radius change physical shapes, collapse and burn, 1,000 cities and towns with molten asphalt streets, 1,000 cities and towns with survivors impaled to death by flying debris, 1,000 cities and towns filled with tens of millions of dead people, with tens of millions of unfortunate survivors suffering fatal third-degree burns, people naked, tattered, bleeding, and suffocating, people who don't look or act like people anymore. Across America and Europe, hundreds of millions of people are dead and dying, while hundreds of military aircraft fly circles in the air until they run out of fuel. That is some visual. How many people would be dead or dying, do you think, after those 72 minutes?
Hundreds of millions of people die in the fireballs, no question. But the number that I think is very interesting to think about comes from Professor Toon and his team, who wrote a paper for Nature recently, 2022, and sort of updated nuclear winter idea based around food. And the number that they have is 5 billion people would be dead.
The population of the planet currently is what, 8 billion?
Yes.
So there'd be 3 billion people still alive. Where shall I go to be one of the 3 billion? I was just in New Zealand and Australia.
That's exactly where you'd go. Although,
Good.
according to Toon,
I'm going
those are
back
the
on
only
tour.
places that could actually sustain agriculture.
I was there 2 weeks ago. Not even 2 weeks ago. It was maybe 10 days ago. I was in New Zealand and Australia. And at that time, I think Iran attacked Israel.
Right. Yes.
I was kind of happy.
You were in the right place at the right time.
I was
Yes.
kind of happy for where I was located. If I'm gonna, you know, and I was thinking, I actually remember I was talking to my friends and I pulled up a map and I was trying to see how far away I was from everything. I was thinking because World War III started trending on Twitter, I was thinking if it does break out now, I think I'm probably pretty well placed. Is that the place to be? Do you think?
That is, according to Professor Toon. I mean, he was so generous with me. He shared a lot of his slideshows that he has for his students. And that is really pretty much what's left. I mean, because most of the world is, certainly the mid-latitudes would be covered in these, sheets of ice, the freshwater bodies. Places like Iowa and Ukraine would be just snow for 10 years. And so agriculture would fail. And when agriculture fails, people just die. And on top of that, you have the radiation poisoning, because the ozone layer will be so damaged and destroyed that you can't be outside in the sunlight. And so people will be forced to live underground. And so you have to imagine people living underground, fighting for food, everywhere except for in New Zealand and Australia. There was also another interesting detail that he shared with me, that, 66 million years ago, an asteroid hit Earth and wiped out the dinosaurs and
What
something like
the
70%
fuck ever,
of
man.
known species. Think about it. And again, this was also echoed by Craig Fugate, FEMA. And yet there is something, Kit. Nuclear war is a man-made threat. And therefore, it has to be a man-made solution.
What is the solution?
I really believe that people motivate other people. It's like a fundamental truth on the smallest scale and on the biggest scale. And so there's one person who is incredibly powerful, and that is the President of the United States. For better or for worse, it's just the way it is. And so in the same way that the president has presidential sole authority to start a nuclear war, the president also has a very powerful pen with which...
Okay, well, we all know what's going to happen there. When she went to, this Annie Jacobson, the bunch of goddamn dinosaurs, yeah, right. That shit, that ain't going to happen. Bunch of goddamn dinosaurs, really? Come on, 66 million years ago. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, man. Okay? That's bullshit. Well, which I think we all know that. Yeah, I was just making a video this morning. I got some bad news today. So, I'm going to just try to make videos and make myself feel better as much as I can. But yeah, that's crazy, man. Let's go over here to let me see, where's my Bible at? Right here. Okay, let's go to Jeremiah. Shalakia. Call halal Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone for pushing 100% truth who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Right? Okay, let's go to Jeremiah. Because I'm like, what? Whatever, chick. You lost your fucking mind. Right? Right? Yeah, Jeremiah chapter 50. Let me get my glasses. It's like everybody. You know, I mean, it just nothing you can do, man. You know, Lord, and I'm starting to think that you know, the elect are sealed. That's the only thing I can think of, man. Right? Jeremiah 49, verse 15. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men. Okay? And I think the BRICS just had a meeting on the 23rd or the 21st. I'm not sure which date they made a meeting. But they all came to the mutual agreement that Babylon the Great, America, the land of indigenous Holocaust and home of the slaves, of double rebellion against the Lord, is the problem. And they're talking about knocking their ass off the top shelf. Okay? So, previously I put up another video on my channel concerning the, what was it? The nuclear weapons and how fast they can get here to burn this place to the fucking ground. Right? Jeremiah 49 and 16, thy terribleness hath deceived thee in the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill. Though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord. Right? Also Edom shall be a desolation, and every one that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at the plagues thereof. Verse 18, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. Now, this woman, Annie Jacobson, just went over what it's going to be like after these thermonuclear missiles hit this place. Right? So, you know, pretty much America's fucked. Okay? Because everybody, you know, they don't take the biblical prophecies of the prophets on the highways and byways risking their lives and their freedom seriously. They're not taking it seriously. They don't give a shit. You know, they want to go on about their lives and everything like that. And the shit is hitting the fan, little by little, every day. Right? Amos chapter 9, verse 2. Though they dig into hell, thence shall mine hand take them. Right? But there's deep underground bunkers. Remember she mentioned about deep underground bunkers, all these bunkers, when the diesel generators run out of gas, they have to come out. Right? Though they dig into hell, then shall mine hand take them. Right? So she also went into detail about the ozone layer being so badly damaged by all of the thermonuclear detonations that you're going to be attacked by direct UV sunlight. Okay? So it's going to be like 120, 130 degrees to the human body. That's if you survive the radiation. Okay? If you survive the radiation sickness. If you didn't get sick to start with. Okay? The air is going to be very, very difficult for you to breathe because it would burn your lungs because of the nuclear radiation in the air. You know, the nuclear fallout from the clouds, it looks like snow, but it's not. It is pure solidified radiation. As soon as you step in it, you are infected. Immediately fucked in the game. Right? Though they dig up to heaven, right, thence will I bring them down. So even if these devils try to get into the ISS or the International Space Station, okay, to try to escape the destruction of the world in general, wherever Esau dwells and his democracy, which is EU, NATO, and America, okay, Australia, Canada, okay, it's not going to do any good. The Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is going to have his angels there to destroy you and tear your ass down from the sky, right? And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence, right? Where it says in Jeremiah chapter 16, that verse 16, the Most High says, and I will send them many fishers, and they shall fish them, meaning that the prophets on the highways and byways are fishing for people of the elect of the house of Israel, those the Yasharala Shal Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, the Israel of God, okay, would wake up and try and attempt to practice the righteous acts, which is to fear God and keep his commandments to the best of your ability. That's what the grace and mercy is for, that Yahweh sent to his people, okay, the Israel of God, the hidden ones here in these last days that are waking up to who they are as far as their nationality and their biblical heritage as Israelites, okay. And you know that propitiation, that atonement, is the blood that was shed on a tree by his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Cross, right? Who happens to be an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. And the only way you can be from the tribe of Judah, the only way, okay, is that you have to be a Negro. Because the Negroes of the tribe of Judah, the southern tribe of the house of Israel, consist of Benjamin, Levi, and Judah, right? Benjamin are the West Indians, Levi are the Haitians, Judah are the Negroes. Okay, it's that simple. So who are these fucking imposters over there telling a lie? See, and we go over it every week, right? And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. Okay, so there is literally a Leviathan type creature at the bottom of the ocean, underneath the bottom of the ocean, that is going to rise up out of the bottom of the ocean for all of these different submarines and luxury yachts and shit that they have. This Leviathan is going to destroy these goddamn Edomites that are trying to escape using the oceans. I mean, look at Mark Zuckerberg's dumbass. You know, he bought Maui, and now he's trying to make the whole place into a deep underground bunker, right? Okay, and he's got an escape plan with a submarine. Yeah, he's got all of the shit he needs, man. But it ain't gonna work, right? Amos chapter 9, verse 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord. So the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai is going to save his elect, a remnant of his people. Okay? That is what it means by I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob. 2/3 of our people are going to be cut off and die and be destroyed on this side. Okay, because of their continued stiff-necked disbelief, unbelief, and unfaithfulness in the fact that they are the Israelites. You have people that are scoffing and mocking on people's comment boards, channels, all kinds of shit, every day, all the time. All it is the spirit of the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai has been poured out on these scoffers and these mockers. Okay, and making them convict themselves with their own tongue. Because the Most High sees all, hears all. He's omnipotent. Okay, he is, he was, and is to be. That is what it means to be Yahweh. He exists because he always was. Because he is. And a lot of people don't get it, right? They just think God is some ethereal spook in the sky that's going to come down in a dress with long flowing hair talking about, I love you. So nobody gives a shit about that, right? Okay, and that's what they think. Verse 9, Amos 9 verse 9, for lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth, right? And the least of the grain, okay, are the least of the least of our people. Okay, the least of us, right? They're not going to fall down because what holds them up is their faith, the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen, right? Amos 9 and 10, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. Okay? So, you know, these motherfuckers are done, man. Obadiah, right? Chapter 1, verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the devil the Bible speaks of. Why do you think that all the BRICS nations, which BRICS is B-R-I-C-S, right? B stands for Brazil, R for Russia, I for India, C for China, S for South and North and South Africa, right? Supposedly. Okay, or it's Saudi Arabia. Now, you know what I mean? So, I mean, the people, you know, they're screwed. But there's hope and faith and belief in the name of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, the creator of the heavens, the earth, the sea, all that is therein in the foundations of water. Right? Verse 3, Obadiah 1 and 3, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high. You devils, you know, you want to be above everybody. You got the World Economic Forum, you got the World Health Organization, you got the goddamn Bilderberger group, the BlackRock, you got Vanguard, you got the Council on Foreign Relations, you got the Club of Rome, you know, I mean, you got the Freemasonry in general. Then you got the Idumean, or not the Idumeans, but the Chaldeans in Hollywood, you know, the witches. Right? I mean, you motherfuckers, you really think that, you know, where your habitation is high, you really think you're above everybody. You can just do whatever you want. Right? You even coming out with your own central bank digital currency, okay, because you can't control the flow of paper money and what you're doing with it. So you want to try to control what they can say, what they cannot say, and threaten their money, their livelihood in a cashless society. What they're not telling you is that the only way to get to participate in a cashless society is to take the radio frequency identification micro biometric digital identification system that to be implanted subcutaneously underneath your skin. Who knows how long the world will last after you've accepted it? You see? Why would you do that? You trying to destroy your own soul? Anyway, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Right? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, right? And the national mascot of America is the fucking eagle, right? The national mascot of the Nazis in Nazi Germany were the eagle, right? The national mascot of the Romans was the eagle, right? The national mascot of the fucking Grecians was the eagle, right? See? And though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. See? So that International Space Station type shit ain't going to save you. You know, Jeff Bezos and Amazon, what was it, last year, took William Shatner, Captain Goddamn Kirk, up into outer space. He said it was just black. It was just infinite black. As far as the eye could see, it was just black. You couldn't see any stars like you see in the news. It's just an infinite black, right? Okay? That's what people don't get. They don't understand it. Right? But like I said before, and concerning the BRICS nations, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border of wickedness. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound unto thee, and there is none understanding in him. Right? So, Obadiah 1 and 15, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. That's the reason why the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border and deceived thee. Right? The BRICS nations, everybody's turned on America. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get off this video. Call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for pushing 100% truth who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.